What's up, everybody? Today's topic of interest is Dead Rising 5 the best video game to have ever been made? People say
the answer is yes. All right, thank you guys for coming.
It's the Panic Brothers with Josue and Simon. I just realized I took an audio cue from the Breakfast Club. It's the world's most dangerous gaming nerdy podcast. Oh, what's the song by Nirvana? Isn't there Nirvana that they always play?
Smells like Teen Spirit?
Yeah, it smells like Teen Spirit. I was going to say Teenage Fever, but I'm like, no, that's the Drake
Yo, you thinking of Drake? Teenage Fever is a terrible opener to a podcast. Whoa.
Today's topic of interest is remakes. More specifically, what games throughout history, which games in the past 50 or so years really deserve a remake a la Final Fantasy VII Remake or Resident Evil 2? These two remakes really setting a new trend, I want to say, on how a remake in gaming can and really should look like.
Some people might not agree with you because some OG fans are like, why they change the story?
Fine, yes, I agree. But that was really essentially only one chapter of Final Fantasy VII Remake, alright? Everything else was almost exactly the same. Anyways, or added to really give the story more depth. The best remakes, and I don't care what medium it is, it could be video games, it could be film, the best remakes are different enough from the original to warrant their own identity. Therefore, you can look at these two products as separate but equal all at the same time, representative of each other.
Yeah.
Therefore,
it's
we
not
look at
like a good example is we're not looking at like Twilight Princess HD or Wind Waker HD.
That's not a remake.
You straight up just increased the graphics. That's all you freaking did.
Yep. I don't consider the Crash trilogy and the Spyro trilogy to be remakes either.
Nope.
I mean, on a technical level, they are because they had to remake all the assets from the ground up. But you look at that, and you look at the original Spyro.
It's just an HD wrapper. That's really it.
Yeah, with better graphics. Not even trying to dig at the Crash and Spyro.
No. It's just that we want to talk about games that can be reinvented at its core and not just let's reskin it.
We want to talk about what are the other remakes that can be possibly at hand that should be made.
Since you're on the topic of Resident Evil, I wanted to start off our conversation with
Resident Evil.
No, I don't think any Resident Evil should get remade besides 4. And even still, I don't think 4 you can really reinvent the wheel too much. The only thing you do for 4 is give it HD. So like, I don't think we should put it on the list. Would you want to see Resident Evil 1 in the first perspective view, like Resident Evil 2 and 3? Because that in itself would make it more of a remake.
Wait, in the first perspective?
Sorry, third person, whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
because Resident Evil 1 still had the fixed camera angles that the original game had. Yeah. So if you reinvent it with the way Resident Evil 2 and 3 did, that would be a completely different, well, not completely different, but it would be a very different game.
Yeah, and that was such a product of its time, too. Those fixed camera, man, if that were to come out today, everyone would hate it.
No, yeah.
I can't do it, man.
It was great at the time, though, because it really made you scared. Because you legit couldn't move the camera. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. So you enter a room and you know what's in the room and you see around the corner, you know what's there. And it's like, I'm dipping.
I'm good.
I'm out of here. But now with third person, you don't know what's around the corner.
No, yeah.
You go around the corner, it's some fucking Mr. X. And you're like,
What's Wade's first time playing that game texting me, yo, who the hell is this?
I wanted to kill myself. That was terrifying. That was terrifying, dude. I hated that.
Give it to you. No, but Resident Evil is not the game that I want to target, but it's similar to Resident Evil. I think Silent Hill 2 needs a remake. Silent Hill 2 it's known as one of the most controversial video games because it was some next level psychological horror that games were really doing at the time. Yeah, like it was really fucking with people's heads when it came out. And I still think to this day, on the medium it came out on, it's still pretty scary. Yeah. So imagine if you look at PT, for example. PT, in my opinion, is the most terrifying experience ever made in a video game.
Simon, I don't think there's ever going to be a month of recording a podcast.
But we don't mention PT.
No, where you don't mention PT. You have to break the PT seal constantly.
Listen,
I break the Sonic
I don't
the
do it that
seal.
often, actually.
You kind of do.
No, you just think I do because you didn't play the game, so you're like, yo, I'm tired of talking about this game.
No, I'm not tired of it. I just something that I noticed. There's something you always talk about. Speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, PT did something really original to the series.
Michael Jackson scored PT soundtrack
posthumously, which really adds to the eeriness of the game.
Did you know gaming? PT, if you grab that engine and what they did with that game, which is just terrifying, and use that in Silent Hill 2 to amplify, oh my god, that would be in my opinion the definitive horror game. I think PT is up there, but it's not a full game, so I can't call it that. But if Silent Hill 2 followed what PT did, that would, in my opinion, be the scariest game out.
I actually had Silent Hill on my list too, and it's because I have this theory, right? Mm-hmm. And it's something that I've noticed on my list also, where a lot of my list, and I know a lot of your lists too, let's not kid ourselves. A lot of my list is horror or it's JRPGs. And I started thinking, I'm like, but why is that the case? Why can't I see a platformer remade? And it's so interesting because think, Simon, off the top of your head, think of a platformer that was remade.
Mario. Over and over and over again. New Soup has been remade so many times.
Yeah. But essentially, those are usually, whenever I see a platformer, it's usually a remaster. Typically.
Is it?
Banjo-Kazooie. How do you remake that?
Yeah. Actually. Yeah, it's kind of hard to reinvent the wheel on a platformer.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But the JRPG and horror genres have come so far, in that if you were to remake the first or second title in a long-running horror or JRPG franchise, and you were to bring it to today's standards, it's gonna be a very different experience if you were to try to adjust it to these two. And that's why, literally, the best two remakes right now are JRPG and horror. Those genres have come a very long way from their humble beginnings.
I even think about that because now I'm looking at my list and I only have one platformer, which I have an asterisk next to because, like you said, I'm trying to think how the hell do you remake that in a way that everyone's like, oh, I need to cop this, you know?
Yeah.
Did you see that? What was it? I think it was in 2019. They made like a fan-made remake for Silent Hill 2 announcement trailer.
Oh no, I never saw.
You should watch that because I remember when it came out, everyone was like, "Why isn't this a thing?" Like it looked really good. It looked like an HD version of the original game, and it still looked eerie. But for some reason, well, I know the reason. Let's be honest. What's the name of the company again?
Konami.
Yeah, Konami hates Kojima so much. Like, they hate him so much. So they know they'll never touch this shit.
It's one of those things where I can see why they hate him. But also, dude, you also gotta let him rock, too.
Yeah, do you know how much money you would make if you let this remake get off the ground? Woo.
Oh, God. Yep.
It'd be stupid. It's insane to me that they hate him so much that they can't see the money opportunity behind it and like, no, fuck him.
Yeah, but I can also just imagine how hard of a person he is to work with. Like, I can just imagine. But, you know, especially when you look at how successful Resident Evil 2 did, it's sort of like, come on, guys, are you stupid or dumb or stupid?
Stupid.
Anyone who knows us, me and Simon, knows that we are Square Enix fanboys. We love
to suck on their tit.
Yep, we just love Japanese spiky-haired boys. And you know, we don't roll that way, but we would roll that way if one of these characters existed in real life. I'm looking at Riku and Cloud. And
yo, you're so thirsty.
Yeah. Regardless. Simon, what do you have on your list?
So I have 3 Square Enix affiliated titles.
Yeah.
The first one being Final Fantasy IX. The reason why I think Final Fantasy IX needs a remake is because 2 reasons. One, Square Enix in an interview, the people behind Final Fantasy said that
Meliodas ass. Oh my god.
What?
All I can think of with that main protagonist in Final Fantasy IX is how he looks like freaking 7 Deadly Sins Meliodas. Jesus Christ.
In an interview, the original creators of Final Fantasy IX and majority of Final Fantasy games said that they felt like Final Fantasy IX was the epitome of Final Fantasy. that it was the game that's supposed to represent what Final Fantasy is, and they're most proud of that one. Also, there's a large fan base that thinks Final Fantasy IX slaps, and they feel like they've always been, you know, swept under the rug and no one pays attention to them because 10 came after, and before them was 7 and 8, and 9 just felt weird place in the middle. Feel like a remake is the perfect opportunity to bring 9 from, you know, the underground into the light, so people who, you know, just picked up Final Fantasy VII Remake can jump into that and see why people have a cult following for that game. And not only that, but if Square Enix really believes that Final Fantasy IX is the best game, then they probably have no problem highlighting it again, would they? Like, no.
So it's so interesting you say that, because I also have a Final Fantasy game on my list, but it wasn't 9. I have 8.
You have 8?
I have 8 on my list.
8's not a lot of people didn't like 8 though.
Exactly.
That's why you want to remake it?
Yeah, so I read a while ago when it came to the movie It, you know, with Pennywise, the dancing clown. It was so successful because it remade something that has a lot of nostalgia. People, you know, there were people that were fans of it, but you watch it, it kind of sucks. The original It kind of sucked. So you remake something that sucked, you kind of only are able to go up.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you also have an IP that everyone knows. People know who Pennywise is. That's what I look at Final Fantasy VIII as, where everyone knows what Final Fantasy VIII is. Everyone knows who Squall is.
Do you think it would be better to do 10 by that logic, though? I feel like 10 is more recognized than 8. And a lot of people don't play 10 because a lot of things are wrong with that game.
I feel like, really?
It didn't age well, in my opinion.
I feel like I always just hear good discussion about Final Fantasy X, even to this day.
I think that's seen through a lens of when it came out, but trying to play it now, it's, in my opinion, it didn't age well. I don't like playing it now.
Titus's laugh, you don't mess with that? You don't mess with Titus's laugh, man?
That shit was, the voice actors in that game was so bad. I do agree with you that 8 and 10 would be pretty cool because they both are well recognized and you can only go up from them. But I feel like, in my opinion, 9 still deserves it more because I feel like if Square Enix believes it was the best, they'll put in more heart into 9, I feel like they'll really try their best on it. That, and also 9 graphically looked very strange compared to 8 and 10, in my opinion. So
to be honest, they all looked strange. Let's not play with
9
ourselves.
felt the strangest to me for some reason, and I like to see that art style used now. Like, you know, like Dragon Quest looks. I would like to see 9 in a Dragon Quest lens. That would look really cool, in my opinion. Right.
Man, I too have other Square Enix games on my list. But the biggest one that I know me and you would love to talk about. Well, it's actually the only. I'm looking at my list right now. It's the only other Square Enix game that I have on my list. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what it is because I have it too.
Yeah. If I'm like nervous. I'm nervous saying this because I haven't even beat the game, but I know so much about it because, you know, it's
because everyone says it's top 10 of all time.
Exactly. If Chrono Trigger could get a remake like FF7 remake, that would be something magical. That'd be different.
People have been saying for years, give us Chrono Trigger back. Why did you give us this amazing title and you did nothing with it after it came out?
They were so weird with that. Square Enix, to this day, I really wish I could just sit down and talk to them about why they
I want to be at that meeting where they were like, let's just throw this away. I really want to know the logic behind that. They saw all their titles and thought, this one looks like it sucks. Let's throw this one out. And it's like one of the best-selling SNES games of all time.
I don't get it, dude. I don't know. I wish I know. Honestly, though, and you know, I mean, if it's not like a Final Fantasy VII remake, I think, honestly, as much as, you know, me and you don't really have that much of a affinity for the series, but because of the art style, it sort of seems like adapting it to more of like a Dragon Quest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it would make sense.
But I would love to see that like Nomura like type of like art. That'd be dope.
Chrono Trigger and then Chrono Cross just dropped. Then hey,
left
peace
face
out.
served. And you know what's the shittiest thing about it? Like, we still Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross were in old platforms, so we only see these characters in sprites and artwork. We never got to see these in a 3D model. I would love to see a 3D model of these characters. So bad. A Chrono 3D model would be sick.
Yeah.
God. Also, not to, you know, I'm breaking the Smash seal, but if we reinvent Chrono, Nintendo has to consider him in the game. Come on. Like, they have to if it gets reinvented.
Oh my god. You know what would make me and you happy?
What?
If an entire Fighters Pass is just Square Enix characters.
I wouldn't complain. I would not complain.
That would finally give us Chrono, Sora, Geno. God, who else are we in love with?
Give me Barrett.
Give me Sephiroth too. I mean, who cares, right? Bro, like me and you would
we get so many characters from that.
Yeah. So
it definitely deserved it though, and I feel like it would sell so much money. It would have the same love Final Fantasy VII did when it got announced.
Yes,
it would have the same exact love. So I kind of messed up and thought this next title I'm gonna say was Square Enix. It's not. I think Golden Sun could use a remake.
Yes, Bobby, let's go. Me and you thought the same thing.
Dog, people, I'm seeing this from a Smash lens. Everyone's like, "Yo, bring Isaac into the game. Bring Isaac." I never touched Golden Sun in my life, so I have.
You never played Golden Sun?
Never played it.
You know what? I feel like there's been so many times with me. And
you finally have a game you have on me now.
Yeah, where you like, I feel like you say a game and I'm like, damn, I never played it, and you're like, you never played it. But now I finally can just throw that back at you. You never played Golden Sun.
No, and I've always seen people get so hype about it, which tells me it definitely is a great game.
Yeah, and I played it. I didn't even play it when it came out. I wasn't a kid when I played it. I was like...
You discovered it way later?
I think. Yeah, I used the emulator to play it.
Was it because in Brawl, Isaac was assist trophy and you were like, let's see what this game's about? No?
Damn. I found out after the fact. Because I think when I played Brawl, I was just like, oh, here's a guy who can do a hand thing. I don't care. But like when I played Golden Sun and I realized that Isaac was already in Smash as an assist, I was like, oh, that's cool. No, it's a good game.
That's I've heard it's a phenomenal game that just kind of got forgotten in the GameCube era. And I feel like...
No, GameCube, Game Boy Advance.
Wasn't it on the GameCube too? Or am I thinking of like a sequel? It was a GameCube game, wasn't it?
It was always a handheld experience. If I had to think of a game that's very similar to Chrono Trigger and how it was treated, it would be Golden Sun. I know that the second and third games weren't as much loved as the original Golden Sun.
Which probably explains why it disappeared.
Yeah, I think what really happened was that it just didn't sell as well.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't successful.
Yeah, but then when time has really treated Golden Sun kindly, where people who have finally decided to play it, they're like, oh my god, this is so good. It's such a good game. I was playing it, and man, there are certain games, man, dude, like, I didn't even have this game on my list, and now I'm going to add it to my list right now.
What?
Shining Force is also a game that deserves to be remade. It's a game that when I was playing Golden Sun, I loved it so much because it reminded me of Shining Force. Shining Force is I'm sure you never played it before, right?
Yeah, I'm struggling to look up what the hell Shining Force.
Shining Force is a Sega JRPG.
Oh god, this cover art screams 1990s.
Yes, it does. But I'm telling you, there is something about that game that I couldn't get enough of it. It was so good. It was it wasn't even a JRPG. It was more sort of like a Fire Emblem sort of game, where it was very tactical. Mm-hmm. But man, that game deserves... Oh my god, if it can get like a Three Houses type remake... Oh my god,
I'm probably gonna cut this part. I just realized what I'm gonna buy next.
Three Houses?
Yeah, I got time to play that shit now. Sorry. I just thought about it.
For some reason, I thought you had it already.
No, like, I didn't buy it because I knew... When I play a Fire Emblem game, Josue, there's two games... This is definitely gonna get cut. There's two games that suck me. Like, I'm in that shit.
Wind Waker and Path to Dawn. Path to Radiance. Those games get me.
Close. Zelda and Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
I don't talk to people for a minute when I'm playing those. I don't know why. I get sucked into both. And I really wanted to play Three Houses, but I knew I didn't have time. I got plenty of time now, baby. I'm doing it. Anyway,
and then to watch Portland open up tomorrow, and Nike's like, "Hey,
Simon, it actually is opening up on Friday."
But you're not gonna go in for a while, right?
No, I'm not going to work now.
Yeah, because
anyway, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I know. For us, that even if like let's say reopening goes as smoothly as possible, I still have to wait like at least a month before I can get called in. Regardless, do you have a month? Can you beat Three Houses in a month?
Oh no, because it's a big game.
I know.
It's a large game, but I will get a lot done.
I'm gonna do damage, baby.
So you think that game's more deserving of Three Houses kind of look?
Oh my god, dude! If it can, dude, I wish I can explain to you how good Shining Force is, man. Shining Force was a game that I've only found one person in my life, and you know who it is. It's my buddy Sam. Me and Sam is the only person in my life that I was ever able to find, besides my cousin, who actually put me on.
To Shining Force?
Shining Force. Oh my god, dude! It's a game that was just lost to time, and I swear to God,
look at what Sega has this IP. Like. I don't even know what it looks like.
It's just an old Genesis game, man. It looks like Genesis. It's a 16-bit.
What made it so fun?
I just wish I can explain to you. It's
this art's really cool for Genesis, man. When they zoom in on the fight.
Oh my god! And then they remade the game for the Game Boy Advance, and that game is just as good. I loved both experiences, and that with Golden Sun, Chrono Trigger, remake those games. I will. I don't know, man.
I would. Chrono Trigger remade is a day one purchase. Don't get that twisted. If it get released pre-order so fast.
Oh, all these games would be day one.
Yeah, everything we've listed so far would be. Would you do Silent Hill 2?
I would, but
because I know Resident Evil 2 got you shook when you were playing that game.
Well, Resident Evil 2, I sort of feel like I got used to it more and more as I kept playing it.
Yeah,
like
I mean that's every horror game.
Yeah, where like things don't scare you as much anymore, especially like after a while. Especially when I beat it the second time, with Claire.
Oh, you know everything.
Run through. Yeah, like Mr. X doesn't scare me as much. I look at Mr. X, I'm like, yo, dude, you're so annoying.
But the beauty of horror games is a new one. Like, let's say Silent Hill came out. When you pick up that game, you're gonna be stuck into that fear again.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, I hate my life. I'm gonna be texting you like, bro,
fuck this.
Yeah, I hate Pyramid Head so much.
So no surprise that I got a Zelda game on this list.
Of course.
Josue, you do too, though. You do too.
I have it.
After the success of remaking Link's Awakening, which was a phenomenal game, worthy of $60 in my opinion, Josue. I know Josue doesn't believe that, but it is.
Okay.
Nintendo should remake Oracle of Seasons and Ages. Because if people think Awakening was good, I guarantee you're going to think Oracle of Seasons and Ages is even better. In my opinion, it's a better game. It was actually, I think, the first or second Zelda game that I personally owned. Like, with my own money, I was able to buy it. Yeah. Because Ocarina of Time was my brother's. Majora's Mask, I think I got after Oracle Seasons. And everything else that was Zelda related, it was always either playing with my brother or came after Oracle Seasons. But Oracle Seasons was the first game I bought with my own money because I think it was like $12 at a garage sale or something. It was dirt cheap.
It was only a couple of dollars.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I got lunch money. So I legit bought it. I was like, this is my first Zelda game. And playing through that game for the first time, one of the best childhood memories I had. To get that remade with the same engine of Awakening with that cute art style, I'd swallow
You think it should be the same art style?
Yeah. I think it should. Yeah. Well, maybe Link would look a little different because the Oracle Seasons and Ages Link is a little like taller and I think more teenage. So maybe he'll look a little different. But I wouldn't mind the same art style. I think it was cute as fuck.
Well, remind me, Link's Awakening, that's the same Link as Link to the Past, right?
Yeah, same timeline. Same timeline, yes.
Yeah, it's a sequel. Link's Awakening is a direct sequel, right?
I don't know about direct sequel, but in terms of like the chronology of the games, yeah, it came after Link's Awakening. Right. But I don't know if it's direct sequel in the timeline.
Yeah, it's weird where it's like, that's the same Link, but it's like a Majora's Mask type of approach where take that same Link, but just put him in a way different environment for some reason. But the true sequel, if you want a true sequel, go get a Link to the Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, right? Apparently the chronological timeline is
oh god,
Past, Oracle, Awakening.
Wait, so what?
Link to the Past, Oracle, Awakening.
Oracle of Ages is that's on the same link.
Yeah.
That's the same link?
Yeah. They have the same hairstyle and everything.
Why wasn't that brought up in the manga?
God damn it. The thing is, I've always thought the Oracle season looks a little more, I don't know, teenaged. I don't know if that's just me, but I always think he looks a little more teenage, so he looks a little different, but it's the same one with the, the link with the
sideburns.
Yeah, the Breath of the Wild sideburns. Yeah, that's this timeline.
Right. But it's sort of also just like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Twilight Princess. I told you this before. Like, yeah, Majora's Mask is the same link, but if you really want that Ocarina of Time experience again, just pick up Twilight Princess.
Yeah, you're not gonna get the same thing in Majora's Mask. Same thing with Links to the Past Oracle Seasons. Yes, same link, drastically different experiences.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl need remakes, but it's cheap because we sort of like this is like a pattern. Like all these games usually end up getting remade in some way.
Fire Red, Heart Gold, Omega.
Yeah, but I think it deserves it needs the remake. It could be a chance for them to rectify all their mistakes from Sword and Shield.
There's a lot of them.
As much as I love Sword and Shield, people don't.
A lot of people don't, including me.
Yeah, I love it. I mess with it. Anyways,
I never realized how much Gen 4 was so loved until I saw how many people on Twitter keep asking for the remake. There's a lot of people. There's even I think a Sinnoh. I forgot the name of the Twitter, but shout out to them. There's like a Twitter account that posts nothing but just Gen 4 memes and people asking for a Gen 4 remake. And I never realized how much love there was for this gen until now.
Well, that's the beauty about Pokemon, right? Where there's a new generation of audience who just gets into these games with, literally every single new generation of Pokemon game. Me and you have this crazy nostalgia and love for everything from Gen 3, right? Like, I know, you think of Hoenn, and I know you have nostalgia for that because you probably, one of your first Pokemon experiences was probably Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, right?
Yep, but that was in the Gen 3 generation, so I therefore, affiliate myself with Gen 3.
Yeah, and Gen 3 just so happens to also include Kanto, Fire Red and Leaf Green. I love Fire Red, but I can imagine.
Me and Josue didn't grow up playing, Gen 1 Red and Blue. It was more so we grew up playing the remakes in the Gen 3. And then you have the same thing with Gen 4. With Gen 4, you had people who grew up on Sinnoh and the remakes of Johto. So now they're begging remake Gen 2. I mean Gen 4, excuse me.
I just need to tell you something that is very similar to your story about Zelda. Well, not really similar.
What?
I think I told you this before also, but I used to pick up Pokemon games thinking they were all different.
What do you mean?
So I remember I already had Pokemon Red and Yellow, but I went to the store. I'm like, Mom, can I get Blue? I don't have Blue.
I remember you told me this one time. You thought they were so drastically different, so you had to pick it up.
And I was angry when I went home and I put it in my Game Boy.
It's the same shit.
Bro, you dead ass? I thought it was gonna be a completely different experience.
I got one based off Nintendo 2, which already has happened, but a lot of people are still not satisfied. Ocarina of Time came out for the 3DS, and people like me, Zelda fans, were like, yes, because it looked good. It wasn't N64 graphics. 64 came out on the DS, and either you were a huge hardcore fan of 64 and you got hype, or you were me who never got to play that much of the original game. So you were like, I can play the full game on DS now. To this day, though, people are like, we need an actual remake in the terms of Scott DeWaz. Because to a lot of people, it's like, all you did was graphically enhance the game. We want to see a Super Mario 64 with an Odyssey engine. How would that look? Or people are like, yo, grab Ocarina of Time and give it a Breath of the Wild experience. How dope would that look? And just the thought of that would make me lose my shit. Nintendo would gain so much cash off that. Bro, I think, to this day, I always think this, that they have a last resort plan hidden in a safe in Nintendo HQ. When they are losing money, the list says, release the remakes of Ocarina of Time and 64.
Release the Kraken.
Bro, that shit would do so many numbers. You're attacking...
What would you call it? Would you still call it 64?
Nah.
Mario 64?
I think you should give it a new name, honestly. but I have no idea what you would
Super
name
Mario 64 for the Switch.
Director's cut.
Something weird.
You would make so much. I would swallow whole in Ocarina of Time in a Breath of the Wild engine. Like, I know I say that for every Zelda game, but I would. Oh!
Don't talk. I'm not gonna talk to you. Yeah, you're gonna be taking mad PTO,
bro. I would analyze that game. So, Panic Brothers would just be a video every day analyzing that game.
my thing is, so if that's the case, right? What would you personally remake? Would you just remake straight up just Mario 64, or would you include all the changes that were in DS? Would you also have Wario, Luigi?
I think you should include that. We should enhance it even more. Make the whole scenery more alive. Make like the hub world was already pretty interesting for 64, but I don't know. Give it a more live experience like the Galaxy Hub worlds. Like make things more interactive and more alive out there. I think that would be so freaking dope. And if you can include, certain parkour kind of activities that Odyssey enabled even further and brought 64, which already had parkour techniques, you're enhancing the game even more, man.
Yeah. I would love to see, Peach's Castle actually, I don't know, like, that was so amazing because that was your first time ever looking inside Peach's Castle and exploring it in depth. But it's just so weird to me because I always find it funny how Peach's Castle isn't, like, it's so weird. Like, it's, like, I know it's a castle, but that's not a functional castle. Like, that's not like I can't imagine that, let's say Bowser wasn't, doing his thing. Like, is that really a castle?
How did y'all operate
is that
here?
really, like, yeah, no, exactly. Why is there a giant mirror room? What's the point of this? Why do you have a whole room just for a clock?
Wasn't there an underground room with a bunch of water?
Well, that's like a bunch of hallways. That was like
that was also bizarre.
But I was just like, think about it now. Back in the day, I didn't care. But like now, I'm like, well, why do you put so much investment in these giant paintings? And how did you get paintings that just take you to places?
Was there a throne room? There wasn't, right?
There was no throne room. So what I'm trying to say is that I would love if they were to ever remake it, I would love to see the actual character and actually see a castle. I know that's such a nitpicky thing.
Also, no, I get you. The castle's was pretty empty. It'd be cool to, add more characters in the castle. Because it wouldn't make sense that only there's one Toad in there.
Yeah. Super Mario Odyssey, I didn't know Mushroom Kingdom was going to be an extra level. Like, remember that? Do you remember playing Odyssey and then you beat the game and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then they add
like, what?
Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah. And you're like, oh, whoa. And you get to go inside the castle and it's just like
that was sick.
64.
So sick.
And you're like,
and
you look at I know what you did. Don't
look
lie
up?
to me. The first thing you did when you went, yeah. That's the first thing I did.
What
I'm
if
like, wait, don't tell me that. And then you're like, and then the same thing happened again where I'm like, what's on top of the castle? And you say the Yoshi egg?
That's what I'm saying. Like that experience alone made everyone think, why isn't this game remade in this engine? Fuck.
Yeah. It showed you that it's doable. It showed you that it's completely 100%
and
doable.
Ocarina of Time still doesn't have any hints of that. The only thing we got was the 3DS remake, which is dope, but you just graphically enhanced everything. You did I don't think there was any change when I really think about it. There was no change at all. It was just graphics. Change it up, man. Make Hyrule Field, because let's be honest, I love Ocarina of Time a lot, but Hyrule Field is so dead. It is so dead. There's nothing to do on that field. It's like it would be better if I had Breath of the Wild where I can climb everything and there's hidden, shrines and stuff, but it's just dead wasteland.
I read an article saying that Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time is Ocarina of Time's hub world, and I'm like, that's not a hub world.
A lot of people argue that can't be a hub world.
It can't. You can't be safe in Hyrule Field. There's enemies that spawn, and once enemies spawn in a hub world, that's not a hub world.
And there's nothing to do in the hub world itself. You don't really do anything besides just go to the next destination. It's an empty plane.
Exactly. In Peach's Castle, yes, you can die. There are ways for you to die, but it's like you have to go out of your way to die. In 64, like that's not.
Yeah.
I have a wild game on my list. If it never happens, I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. GTA San Andreas using GTA 5's engine.
That's not gonna happen.
That never gonna happen. But Listen, I'm just saying that if Rockstar just ever needed, which it doesn't, they make plenty of money, especially since GTA 5 is like one of the best-selling games of all time.
Yeah.
But let's just say they were really. I think, like, you know how you just said Nintendo has this vault. It's like, if we're ever desperate, release the Kraken.
Yeah.
I feel like their Kraken would be release GTA San Andreas, but using the 5 engine. It's like, oh, that was so money. I know you pick it up.
I say it wouldn't happen, but if it did, like, everyone would cop. Especially the people who don't game anymore would cop. Because like, oh my god, my brother rarely plays games anymore, but I know for a fact he had such a great experience playing that growing up that he would cop that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. It's the kind of thing that'll bring people back to gaming, where it's like, whoa.
CJ's in HD?
Andreas?
Say less.
And I know there's not as much love for... Okay, I'm not going to say that.
What?
But, Vice City is also really great. And, but I don't know. Something about San Andreas just really struck a chord with people. Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact that if San Andreas were to get released, especially since 5 is already set in San Andreas, which is why I say San Andreas.
Is it really?
There's no HD. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, have you played GTA 5?
Yeah, never peeped that.
Yeah, you can go to Grove Street in GTA 5.
Honestly, did not peep that. You gotta understand, I've played GTA games, but I don't really get that invested in the lore of it, so I really don't know much. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, quick lore fact for GTA. I believe GTA 4 and 5 and like a select few other games take place in a separate timeline.
Wait, okay, never mind. But the same place?
Yeah, so like Grove Street is in GTA 5, but no CJ. Like CJ is just in the same universe as GTA 3 and Vice City.
Did not know that. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can definitely do it then.
Yeah. And then it's not impossible. It's the same freaking place.
No, yeah.
Maybe like add specific places that were obviously in San Andreas and not GTA 5, but Grove Street is there. You can go to Grove Street.
You can also change the story of San Andreas too, and I don't think anyone would complain. I think if you change the story of San Andreas, it'd be like, still fire. Still cool.
Yeah, you gotta add a Trave graveyard. Please.
You have to fight these people stopping you from changing the original events.
And CJ with his gun. Like,
he has an Uzi fighting.
Stop me.
He has an Uzi fighting whispers.
Oh my god, that's so funny. The idea of that kills me.
This last one is in like a far reach in my grab bag. I was like, maybe, I don't know. I've never even played this game. Persona 5 blew up, right? It's insane. I'm not saying remake Persona 5. I was
like, bro, it just came out recently.
That was me when I told you nervously looks up, is it too soon for a Game 3 remake?
Can Kingdom Hearts 3 get remade?
Persona 5 was a huge success. First time many people have even heard of Persona. Or Shin Megami Tensei. They were like, oh yes, like this is dope. I love this. Let me discover all the games again. Apparently, one of the Shin Megami Tensei games that's like really popular and like really well done, that didn't get as much love, that kind of fell behind, was Nocturne. Or Nocturne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone I've seen, like I looked up opinions on what people think should be remade. A lot of people surprisingly kept bringing this game up. I have never played it, but I feel like I should put it on the list. I feel like some people who are huge Atlas fans and Persona fans really want that. So I want to just highlight that they really feel like that game needs to be remade.
Yeah, that also came up often in my research as well for Shin Megami Tensei. But I didn't mention it and put it on my list because I don't really have experience with the Shin Megami Tensei franchise.
But if Persona 5 was fire, and people are claiming that this game would be fire if it had Persona 5 love, then I believe them. Sure, make a remake.
Yeah,
I'll buy it.
Right. And then you're gonna go into the whole history of Shin Megami Tensei, and now you're gonna be like, "Yo, I know all the lore."
That's like, Shin Megami Tensei. Yo, my personality is like the way I treat games is insane, bro. The only games I don't pick up and drop are games like, I don't know, Zelda and
Square Enix.
That's kind of it. No, Zelda's like the only game I think I don't obsess over one time and that's it. Every game is a season for me. Kingdom Hearts when 3 came out, I was obsessed all over again, and then I forgot about it. Persona 5, I was shit. Persona's dope as shit. Gone. Resident Evil, yo, I know everything about Resident Evil.
Well, to be honest, I feel like that's sort of like human. I feel like that's sort of like natural because that happens to me too. Where like you remember, but like very recently there was a phase where I was all in Star Wars again, and I couldn't stop talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and literally like I was watching like I rewatched The Mandalorian. I watched Star Wars Rebels. I picked up Fallen Order. I rewatched the movies, and I'm just like, yes, Star Wars. And now I'm like, okay, Star Wars. But it's sort of, I feel like it's just a season, you know what I mean? Like, it happens often.
It's just so weird to me it works like that. And then when the new game comes out in that series, I have to remind myself what happened. I feel like it's so weird.
Yeah. But I know that's exactly what you do with Shin Megami Tensei, where you're going to be like, I need to know every single game.
Yep.
I need to know what happens. I need to know what happened after. I need to know everything about Persona 5 also now, and the entire Persona series, because it's a spin-off. And hey, what happened with Catherine Fullbody also? What's Catherine Fullbody? Let me check that out. I need to see what happened.
That's exactly why I need the remakes. I need to obsess over the series.
Because I was thinking back on old consoles, and I looked at the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, and I'm like, what from the Game Boy needs a remake that's sort of similar to Link's Awakening? And obviously, I already thought of Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, but what else? And I thought of Super Mario Land. That's a game that's just sort of lost in time.
Wow, Nintendo, if you're listening, I doubt it, but if you're listening, why did you do 5 different new Super Mario remakes instead of just, like, you know, remaking Super Mario Land? That would have been so much better waste of your time than just making Deluxe, Luigi, whatever, the Wii U one. Like, come on, man. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, you really, like, there's this trilogy of games. The trilogy, even though the third one is sort of...
Yeah.
I don't know if you really consider that the same series. It's sort of like a Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2 situation. Regardless, it's like, these are 3 really highly praised games though, regardless. And it's like, I mean, come on. Like,
do you think Nintendo's just trying to forget that era?
I feel like they are, maybe.
I think they don't want to touch that ever again.
It's so odd because you can have this game and it's so easy too, dude. Use the new Super Mario Brothers assets and engine and just remake these games specifically. Like,
the beauty of doing this game though is, even though you're using the Super Mario engine, it wouldn't feel like Super Mario because it's a different kingdom. So you can change everything, man. The enemies, the backgrounds, the levels would look so different from normal Mario games.
And honestly, and dude, like, these are 2 games that introduce 2 really pivotal characters to the franchise. Daisy and the sequel, Wario. And
do you think though if they remade it, would they call her Daisy or would they try to make her like princess of whatever land?
People would get tight if it's not Daisy.
Yeah, I feel like they would also. But I feel like Nintendo would also not want to call her Daisy because I think they're so obsessed with making Daisy, you know, the athlete.
A sports character.
Yeah, and not so much the damsel in distress.
Yeah, well, people forget that these are, like, you know, like, I understand the conversation around Waluigi, where Waluigi is solely a...
that's how he started, and that's how he's always been.
Yeah, but Daisy and Wario had their origins in the main series, and they just got forgotten in the main series.
Yep.
And it's just weird, where, like, why is that the case? This is a great opportunity with a remake to bring these characters back to the limelight and remind people that, hey, these are characters that we really thought of, and this is not Peach. It's not Bowser. Obviously, it's his own character, Wario. But come on, it's a great opportunity.
It's a great idea, but I think Nintendo's too scared of altering like that. I think they're scared of, like, we just reintroduced you a world where Wario was like the main villain. I think they're scared of that, honestly. But it doesn't make sense because it's like you've made Wario just about WarioWare, and it's like, you know, at one point he was a villain. You know, he's not just a WarioWare guy. He had his own
platforming series. He had a platforming series.
Yeah, he wasn't just, you know, WarioWare. Stop making him only WarioWare. But I think Nintendo wants them to commit to Wario's the goofy character with the goofy games, and don't look in the past.
Wario as a character is also very odd, man.
You can tell they had no idea what they were doing with them.
Dude, he had Wario Land, Virtual Boy Wario Land, Wario Land 2, 3, 4, Wario World, we just talked about earlier, Master of Disguise, Wario Land Shake It, the WarioWare games. What else is there? Mario and Wario, Wario's Woods, Wario Blast. What is this character?
I think they really had no idea what they were doing for a while, dog. They legit were like, I think they finally realized what they did, when that WarioWare game for the Wii really took off and everyone was playing it, and they're like, you know what? Stop right here. Keep making WarioWare games. Stop right here. We don't need a Wario Land. We don't need a Wario World. We're good right here. I think they committed to it.
Because those WarioWare games have no other characters from the franchise, from the Mario franchise.
It's a whole new universe.
Just Wario. And I think they just wanted to use the Wario name just to sell it. Because otherwise, if they just said, if there was anything else, it'd be weird.
No, yeah, if Wario wasn't on that, it would be really hard to sell that new universe of characters.
And isn't that weird? People really picked up WarioWare because of Wario. You understand that, right?
Fun ass game, but yeah, we literally picked it up for a character we really don't barely know.
I don't know his backstory
at all.
Who is this dude? Remake Wario?
I kind of low key want to get drunk with some friends and play that game again. Because looking back at it, that game was fun as fuck sober. I can't imagine with a couple of drinks how much more fun it would be.
Oh my god, that'd be an experience. That'd be an experience. Honest to God, it'd be an experience. Me and you had a conversation when I went over to Portland about how dope it'd be if there was like a VR type, like it wouldn't be a ride, but you can do a Pokemon battle VR.
That'd be sick.
Imagine Pokemon Stadium, where like you have a pre-selected like amount of Pokemon you can use, all the final evolutions, of course, and you just like, okay, I pick Charizard, I pick Swampert, and I pick Nidoking.
When we get to that point in the future, man, I don't care if I'm 50, I'm gonna be so hype.
You would wait you would wait an entire day. I think if there was the only thing you can do that day, you'd do it. If there was a VR experience, you get to explore Hyrule.
I know exactly where you're going, and yes, I would do that. Yep.
You'd wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, go there, wear your best Zelda fit. I don't even know what that means. But you'd wear your Zelda fit, stand there, and be like, "Well, so don't talk to me. I'm waiting. I'm doing this."
Oh fuck. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to us once again, or watching us, whatever platform you're watching or listening to this on. We are the Panic Brothers. And that was our list, on remakes that we believe should come to the light after Final Fantasy VII just came out. If you guys like this content, please comment, rate, subscribe, do whatever's necessary to support us. We always appreciate it. Please join the conversation. Let us know what remakes we missed, because I imagine there's a bunch of them out there that you guys think should be remade that we just did not mention. Or if you disagree with us, tell us why Ocarina of Time isn't a remake. I'll find you. Until then, this has been Simon.
You want a remake of Ocarina of Time right after the remake came out.
Oh, yeah. I'll be like, rerun it again. We need to do one more. Hold on.
When's the next remake?
It's been 2 weeks. How slow are you?
Where's the Majora's Mask remake?
This has been Simon and Josue from the Panic Brothers. Take care, guys, and we'll see you later.
Peace.